the Cuff.
Hi guys, welcome to Off the Cuff.
I'm Kathy.
I'm Derek.
We're here to talk about whatever is on our minds at the moment.
And currently, my wife and I have kind of a crappy thing to talk about. There are some good things coming out of it, but not an amazing situation.
No, my heart's been so sad, and I've just been sick over this, and it brings up a lot of stuff from the past.
If you want to go ahead and let them know, because you have close ties to this, so if you maybe want to explain to them.
I don't even know where to start. There is a local Christian theater program for youth. How was that?
It's perfect.
That was
Yeah, it's
tactful.
CYT is what it's known as.
A Christian youth theater program.
Clever.
And there is a lot of social media conversations going on right now, because a lot of people have been hurt by other people in this organization. And it goes back, 15 years that I know of, and it sounds like it's still continuing. And what I've seen is a number of girls who, from the time they were, 13, 14 years old, were being sexually harassed and abused by groomed to accept it and to be quiet and to think it was normal and okay. And
many of which have had to get help, get therapy.
Oh yeah. Because not everybody knew that it was happening to everybody else. When you're victimized like that, you don't go advertise it. You're not brave. You're brave, but
which might be kind of a hard thing for people to understand. I think a lot of people looking on the outside,
you're afraid, and
initially
you don't know.
Yeah, the initial thought tends to be, I'm under the impression that, well, why don't they just speak up? And it's a very difficult situation. Oddly enough, you don't speak up. A lot of people who are in domestic violence situations don't step up.
These girls were the guy who was doing
they were
this,
kids.
They were groomed
kids
to accept and believe and to feel like they were special, or they better not say anything, or and all sorts of stuff. And it originally, 15 years ago, came to light because one of the moms heard a voice message on her daughter's phone.
I don't know if that was by accident or the daughter came forward. I don't remember. But
I don't know.
In any event.
But it was very explicit message from a man who was a teacher at the theater program, and who
and your daughter was a part of the theater program.
Both my kids were.
Yeah, not in that area.
Right. But friends with a lot of these people. Yeah. So was my son. I was very involved in it myself. And so much good came from this program, and the things that were done there. And not perfect by a long shot, but a lot of good and good people that volunteered and taught. But anyway, there was a male teacher who was easily 10 or more years older than these girls, and
took advantage of them.
Yeah, and this particular message, he was leaving very explicit details about the horrible sexual things he was going to do to this one girl, and that was taken to the police, and it was taken to the top people at the theater program.
And who's the top person again?
I don't know who they spoke to, but I don't know if I can say that on this program, can I? without getting legally in trouble. I'm sure as things go forward, we'll have opportunity to do that, but I need to
That's
be
fair.
respectful of
That's fair.
how they're handling this
That's fair.
They're handling it really amazingly well. And when I say they, I mean there's an abuse
ton of
children.
girls.
There's an abuse advocate, and there's in just a matter of a few days, dozens of girls coming forward saying, I was treated poorly. I was also victimized here. What makes it so bad is, well, I mean, it's already bad, but that when this was brought to the owners and the administrators and the top people in the organization, they originally said, oh, okay, we'll do something about it, and then immediately hired this guy back, had him back around the kids. The girls were made to feel bad about themselves.
Kind of like insult to injury, this idea that they actually got rid of the guy, and then very quickly after that, brought him back.
Yeah.
It was like long enough, I don't know if this is the case, but it's almost like enough time had gone by for the previous generation to pass, so they were able to bring him back in.
I know. At least the one girl was made to feel bad. And a lot of people were made fun of for a lot of different reasons, and a lot of people were hurt, and a lot of discrimination against all sorts of people.
That's
and
been
it's
something
continued.
That's been something else that's been happening. In light of these girls coming forward, there's been plenty of people coming forward just sharing their own stories about being discriminated against, hated on, so on and so forth. And not just by the kids, but by the adults.
Yeah. I mean, that's supposed to be a safe place, and it's supposed to be a place where we bring our kids and our families, and it's Christian. So, and I say Christian because I don't really know what was underneath it. There were some very strong Christian people that came and devoted time, but I don't know.
We've heard some remarks about whether or not it's Christian on the outside, but not so much on the inside.
And there's been person after person who's left their employment there because of just these kinds of issues. And now what's even sadder is like these girls are all coming forward. No one's trying to destroy anybody, but to have a voice and to have change made, and to protect kids in the future and other people from getting hurt and made fun of and bullied and discriminated against and abused, and the response from the organization so far has just been very arm's length and
very lackluster apology, and
the allegations
very political,
which totally just discredits and minimizes what these people have had to
and it really and not to say that CYT is not already in a bad light because of this, but making that kind of, pardon my language, half-assed apology really doesn't help.
There hasn't been an apology.
Oh, well.
There's no apology.
They say that they're taking the allegations, like she said, the allegations seriously.
And they're reviewing their already strict guidelines, and it's like, that's just a load of crap. Sorry.
No.
This just gets to me at so many levels, and we're going to have to break this into, I'm sure, a couple of different, what are these called? Episodes? I don't know what this is. It's my rant right now because my heart is breaking for, I was going to say these girls, but there's guys too who have been hurt and in many different ways, just diminishing the value of people over and over again. And I don't even know where to begin with this.
Well, first of all, the people who perpetrated these acts allegedly, are sick. They're disgusting people. For anyone who might want to give them the benefit of the doubt, that's totally fine. If people want to do that,
why is that fine?
If people are willing to give them the benefit of the doubt,
not when there's proof.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the proof is right now. I mean, well, no, there is the voicemail. There is the voicemail.
It's not like
proof.
Well, and story after story after story, it's the same lines this guy
Yeah.
used, same kind of, what do
You
you
know, it's
call
funny.
it? I mean, it's just
It's
he
funny.
did the same thing over and over and over again. He had it down.
It's
He
funny. You know, like this is going to be sort of tangential, but it makes sense. There's a reason for this. It's not even tangential. She's smiling at me for a reason. We won't go into that. But one of the things I think J. Warner Wallace, he's a Christian apologist, said, he's also a cold case homicide detective. Um, when you're talking to multiple suspects or gang members who are potentially part of the same crime, when you're talking to them, and even just in a court of law, when you're reviewing stories, they're looking for something that is similar, not exactly the same. If it's exactly the same, it becomes questionable. These girls are all citing similar events that paint a very particular MO for this guy.
Hmm?
They're not exact stories. Like they're
Right.
grouping them all together. I mean, this would have to be one hell of a collaborative effort
Well,
for these
and it's
girls,
not like these girls
and it's
even
not adding up
hang
that way.
out
These
together
are real stories,
and they didn't sit here and talk about it. These
true
are
stories.
girls that have known each other 10, 15 years ago, went through theater. You know, social media, everybody stays connected, but
Mm-hmm.
people have moved on and have families and kids and live in different parts of the country. And because somebody had the courage um, to come forward with some things, and people are quitting their jobs I mean, more and more people are seeing it through social media and
Mm-hmm.
having the courage to speak up and say, I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
I have been through years of therapy just to deal with the hurt that I've experienced.
Right.
Um, and I guess I don't even know how we want to tie this into something. I was going to say something relevant. This is relevant,
Yeah.
but I know my own frustrations back in the same time period. Um, there was a guy that was totally sexually inappropriate um, with junior high girls, and I warned the junior high pastor at the church, and I said, "Hey, there's stuff going on, and I've heard this, and I know this, and you might want to be careful." And they weren't, and they didn't even bat an eyelash, and they just kept him there, um, and then
Sure enough.
well, and then um, they decided to hire him at their Christian high school as a theater department teacher. And before he was hired, but he was in the hiring process, um, because I'm a therapist, I had confidential information from people that he had already assaulted, and I went to the leader, what do you call it? The director at the high school, and
Principal? Or
is that what he was?
I don't know. I
Principal?
don't know how it
I don't know, it's
works
15
there.
years ago. My memory is bad. Whatever he was, whoever's the top guy in charge of things. I don't think he was a principal.
Well, whatever he was.
He was in charge, and he was the one who hired. And I said, sat down, I called an appointment with him and sat down, and I said, hey, I have to be careful how I say this because of confidentiality, but this guy is not okay in how he is with girls. And if you need me to get releases to break confidentiality, I'm sure I can do that. But here's my concerns. And they said, okay, thank you. And then they hired him anyway. And then he sexually assaulted one of the high school girls. And I'm just tired of people turning the other cheek. And everyone says, oh, that's a Jesus thing. Turn the other cheek, turn
Well,
the
this
other
isn't.
cheek. But Christians have it wrong. We don't like to deal with hard stuff, and we don't want to look at mental health stuff. We don't want to look at sexual abuse, and we
And this
don't want to.
isn't. This isn't even
We
turning
just
the
want what's
cheek.
convenient.
This isn't even.
My dress is falling
I'm
off,
sorry.
apparently.
This. I mean, this isn't even turning the cheek though. This is. This is
looking
being
the other
stupid.
way, blatantly looking the other way.
This is ignoring a problem. You know, not to beat a dead horse or anything, but I mean, it's kind of like the Catholic Church sort of sweeping all the molestation under the rug. I mean, I don't think Protestants are able to look at Catholics anymore and kind of put their, you know,
And I
chin
don't
up
know
or
what
anything.
people
It's
are
like,
afraid of, like to acknowledge something like this. Like way back 15 years ago when the first, and there was numerous reports apparently to the top people in this company. And if they had just looked into it and done their due diligence and fired some people, if they would have done background checks, if no one did background checks on employees or volunteers, and they're like, this is who you're trusting your kids with. You know, it's just like, if they, even when they found out, if they had followed through, even if it was inconvenient, even if it was hard, and they just followed through and they learned from it and said, no one's going to hate them for it because someone they hired did it. Not if they took all the appropriate measures and said, what do we need to do to make this right? What do we need to do to make sure it never happens again? What do we need to do to support the people that have been hurt here? But no, didn't happen.
No. So, I think we should probably wrap up.
Yeah, we've talked way over.
We're gonna have a second part to this.
This was the rant.
This was the rant. Real quick before we go, if you are familiar with this situation, if you've been abused, if you've been assaulted, think you might have been groomed or have been in the process of being groomed, please speak up. Find someone. We'll have maybe we can put up
whether it
the
was
victim
this situation or any situation, please speak up. Those secrets are just hurting you, and there are so many people that can love you and help you and get you referrals to get, you know, advocates, to get therapy, to whatever you need.
Maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can put up the victim advocate who's been helping all these girls. Maybe we can put like her contact information on the description. Look for it. I don't know if it's going to be there. But yeah, please speak up. There are people out there who are willing to help you, who will help you and want to help you. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Like, subscribe, all that other junk. We love you. God bless.
Thanks for listening to our rant.